just let us know when to start.
Okay, don't forget to identify yourself on camera, okay?
Yes. Thank you. My name is Enoch Muhammad. I'm a co-creator of Hip Hop Detox. It's a public health organization that works with teens, young adults, and the service providers that work with our community. Our whole goal is to help teens, young adults, and the community deal with their social-emotional issues, but also those things that are considered the root causes that we want to change. To my left, I have Father Pfleger, pastor of St. Sabina. To my right, we have Ms. Che. And of course, we got our other brother here, T.O. Hardeman, executive director of Chicago Ceasefire, or Illinois Ceasefire. One of the things we wanted to do with this Unity press conference is just make it real plain that we will not make change until we begin to see unity as a key element of change. This is a multifaceted problem with multifaceted solutions, and we need multiple peoples to work together, to find ways and stretch to make unity real so we can make change sustainable. It should not be where we have our pastor here working 28 hours to try to make change and keep change when there are so many people that are benefiting from the work he does. My brother Ryan Fest, he's just been ablaze. You know, I mean, he's just been working to try to find ways to make change because he has done and is still doing what he does on the music side, but when it comes to the activism and being on the streets, he's looking for where are the workers. And all I can say about T.O. is that T.O. is not only looking for the same thing, but he's saying, look, if you all don't want to help, we're going to keep on interrupting. We're going to keep on finding ways to make change. So I wanted you all to get an opportunity to meet each and every one of them again, but in the light of us forging unity, because unity is real. Also, we have in the audience various organizations, various peoples that are working to make this change sustainable. I want us to give a hand to our brother Leonard Farrakhan Muhammad here. Give him a hand because he has allowed us to start something here for the community, and not just here in the Auburn-Gresham area, but for the city of Chicago. All those who say we want our youth and our community to come together and break these generational divides, and I support an initiative that help us to display our talents, our gifts, our skills, and our abilities. And so we are at the Peace Palace of the People, Salon Restaurant here in Auburn-Gresham, and this jewel is something and some place for all of us. We should see it as a destination point where we all can come, bring our families, and enjoy the cuisine and the ambiance here. So without further delay, give a hand to our brother, Pastor Father Pfleger.
Thank you, Brother Enoch, and thank you, Brother Leonard, for hosting us here. It's so right that we're at a place called Assalamu Alaikum. It's a place of peace.
That's right.
And it's right that we seek peace and that have places of peace right here on 79th Street. So I thank God for this great facility. I just come to say that, echo the same thing Enoch said, is that, you know, we need everybody to come together. We need government to come in with infrastructure. We need corporate to come in with jobs. We need the education system to make sure the schools are good and excellent for all of our children. But if we're going to reach the community, then we have to come together, and we have to reach our young people. Right. And that's through reaching out on the streets like all these folks up here do. That means loving our brothers and sisters in the streets, respecting them, helping them achieve their goals and not just demonizing them. And it means reaching them with the arts. We've got to take what they've been drawn into, the negative of the arts. We've got to grab hold of those brilliant minds and redirect them to the positive of the arts. We want to get in those minds. Other people have taken them and perverted them and used them for their own game, particularly the major white media companies that taken them, paying them money, and perverting them, and then throwing them back out to the street when they don't want to use them anymore. Well, what we need to do is get those brilliant minds first and set a new standard and say, this is what it means in the arts. This is what it means in hip-hop. This is what it means as rap. And that's why it's so important that we come together as brothers and as sisters up here to say, we're going to reach the young minds before you do, and because it's the future of our city, the future of our country. And guess what? All the answers we need to violence, they're sitting right here in front of you. This is the group we need to reach to. Thank you.
That's right. We are a partner of St. Sabina and the Ark of St. Sabina. We have a music studio apprenticeship program. And where is Jocelyn Jones? Jocelyn Jones right here is the executive director of the Ark of St. Sabina. Please give her a hand. I want to bring up our brother. Give a hand to Rhyme Fest.
Hey, I want to thank Brother Enoch Muhammad, Father Pfleger, Theo Hardeman, Amina, all of the brothers and sisters, the young people that are here. We have a host of common problems in our community. And what I see that we need is uncommon solutions. And when you ask where do uncommon solutions come from, they come from the creatives, the artists. They come from the people who dream right before they go to bed, who dream when they wake up, who dream when they're working. The artists have the uncommon solutions to our common problems. And as I traveled the world, I saw artists being put to use in communities to beautify communities, to come up with creative solutions to problems in Sweden and in education in France. And artists are being used all over the world. They should be used in Chicago. And where do artists come from? Artists shouldn't just come from YouTube. Artists shouldn't come from, I heard it on GCI and now I'm going to emulate it because I think that can help me get out of the ghetto. Artists come from St. Sabina. Artists come from Salam. Artists come from that local businessman that you grew up with, that gave you advice as you were growing up, that showed you how to dress, that showed you how to present yourself.
That's right.
Artists come from communities that care about their children. And so as a community, I'm just so blessed and I'm so thankful that Brother Enoch has invited us here today to show us how he is culturing and cultivating new artists. And when he invited me here, it was incumbent, and it is my duty, it is my responsibility as an artist, as someone with experience and around the world, to come back and impart that experience and to learn. I was once told, what does a black belt do? I was asked the question, what does a black belt do after they, got their black belt and they've done everything? I said, well, I don't know. What do? They're black belts. They say they take the belt off and they go back and start training again.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because there's something that they're not learning that the new people know that are coming up. And so I've taken off my black belt. And I'm here today to learn from the artists that are in the community. And thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
Enoch, for inviting me.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Very good.
I want the media to understand that we're not calling out, we're calling in people. From our brother No ID, who's at Def Jam, to some of the family members we have at Interscope, we have to call people in because on the commercial side and the industry side, we need to give a balance.
Right.
When it comes to those who don't care to get a commercial deal, we have to be the ones to give ourselves a deal. Because we have conscious, positive, powerful artists. And I'm not just talking about artists. We have those behind the scenes, those who are engineers, those who want to build the studios, those who say, I want to take my mathematical ability, my scientific ability, I want to use it on higher levels. We have to not be boxed in. And I want to give a shout out to my girl FM Supreme back there. I need to make sure she just came back from London. And she represents one of those kind of artists that she's not going to stop her positive, conscious artistry. And her pastor, Reverend Wright, told her, hey, come on over here, because it's time for us to unite. Please give a hand to my brother, Theo Hardeman.
I'm Theo Hardeman, representing Ceasefire, Illinois, and I just want to say that I really support Hip Hop Detox. Is the real deal, and it's a public health model that really works. It's very effective in getting into the minds of our young brothers and sisters. Marvin Gaye said, what's going on? Okay, NWA said, fight the power, and Public Enemy, really. So music is really a way to really express yourself and raise people's consciousness to a higher level. And that's so important because if you look back at all the entertainers, even during the Renaissance period, the Black Renaissance period, you had great thinkers and you had intellectual people. Right now, I feel in Chicago, we've lost that intellectual edge to a degree. And it's going to take brothers like Enoch Muhammad, Ryan Fest, myself, Sister Amina, Father Pfleger to bring it back. I feel like a rapper myself right now. So the reality is that we all stand in unity today because that's what Brother Enoch talked about, because we cannot do it by ourselves.
Right.
What Enoch brings to the table is hip-hop detox. And do you all agree we need to detox off some of the hip-hop? Not all of the hip-hop, but some of the hip-hop. So that we can learn our way in more effective ways and raise the consciousness of our people like our mighty ancestors did. So I just want to say that I'm here in support. And thank you.
We define hip hop not by what's on the radio.
Yes, sir.
We define hip hop as being truth without boundaries.
Right.
And the detox is to remove the poison. And we're talking about all poison. And it's a process. There's no silver bullet. But I have to make sure that I give our sister the firepower over here that's part of Ceasefire. If you have some words to share, sister, please. I'm thankful that you were able to come and attend. Give a hand to our sister, Amina.
The reason why I turned around and I saw this baby. And he was standing behind myself and Ryan Fest, and we could not see him from, as Enoch say, we're calling outside in. We're not calling anybody out. So this is our future. This is my future. When I stand here at Salams and I see the young faces in front, you all are not understanding the history. See, one thing that our community, and when we have to detox and we talk to our young brothers and our young sisters about Chicago, and I've had an opportunity and I've been blessed to visit those places that the Ryan Fest is. I've been to Sweden, Stockholm's, and Bergen, Norway, and you know, and all praises due to Allah that I came back safe and I can talk about what's going on in Chicago. But Chicago is we're a trendsetter, man.
That's right.
We set it all over from here across the pond, as they say. So when I'm looking at our future, when I'm looking at my future, this is the trend that is going to be set 5 years from now. Even look at him now. Look at him. He got on a trend. He right here. He's in front of us. And he looks good.
That's right.
He looks good. He looks clear. And we have to continue to keep them clear. When you're sitting in Salams, why don't you ask one of these brothers, what is this place? What does it mean to be here on 79th Street? There's a lot of history, black history.
Yes, sir.
I'm not just talking about from the Nation of Islam. I'm not talking about from the Islamic culture. I'm not talking about from the spiritual foundation of our brothers and sisters that have lost their lives. I'm talking not about the nonsense that we got going on right now. We're talking about that have put their lives on the line for our young brothers and sisters to go to school.
That's right.
To go to school.
That's right.
To go to school in Chicago. I know you all can't even fathom about fighting to get to some education. But what we can understand is fighting because somebody looked at us in that wrong way. See, we got to look at the history of where we're at. This is a beautiful place. There's brothers that have passed away and returned to, I pray, Jannah, to Allah, that when they put the work in, and I mean some real work, to make sure that we as African Americans, we as Latinos, we as human beings of the lower class will not be slighted, that we will not be overlooked, that some of your grandparents and great-grandparents was able to work and go to school because of the history that was set in Chicago, in Inglewood, in Woodline. So you all have to understand where you're at. You do, in order to know really for real where you want to go. Because if you don't understand where you at, you don't have a clue on where you want to go, but to the nearest corner that is nothing there for you. You have a beautiful world. We have a beautiful world. We have a beautiful city.
Right.
And I need for us to take part of that. So I'm going to close with this. I had a 17-year-old with me some months ago. We did a summit, Tio and I, and we got them up out of Inglewood because they were fighting each other in the community that they lived in. And they couldn't get on the same bus with one another. So I put them in my car. And we rolled down Lakeshore Drive. And this 17-year-old had his boy that was sitting next to me ask her. Ask her. I said, ask her what? He said, what ocean is that?
Wow.
Yes, the world is beautiful. There is oceans. But we have a beautiful lake, and we need to take part of that, and we need to understand and know where we at. So it's a wonderful, this is a good start. This is a good start. So now with the start, as when you're racing and you're in a relay race or whatever type of race that you're doing, that 100, after that, pow, you got to get on the ready and you got to go.
Gotta go.
You got to go. And we ain't losing, we winning. So we gotta do as we talk at the same time. We can walk and chew bubble gum. So we've had this conversation a little bit too long. Now it's time for us to get on with action. And I do have some strong brothers and sisters that is beside me, and safe travels that sister came back and had some good information that she can give back to the community to talk about what's going on over the pond. So let's get going. I'm a part of the community. I live in the community. This is our future. That's our future. That's our future right there. You all are our future.
You know, slangs may change, but unfortunately, and sometimes fortunately, a lot of things stay the same. And one of the things that we want to make sure we change, which all of us are very aware of, is the behavior that produces people killing people. And one of the things that we want to make sure everyone understands is that this is not just a local issue, it's not just a national issue, it's an international issue. I just got a post on Facebook and a brother was saying, can you believe they just said that $4 trillion was spent on Iraq? 4 trillion, but we over here dealing with pennies and fighting over who gonna get this, that, or the other. And every city is dealing with it. I want you all to give a hand to my brother who came to host the first Unwrapped Talent open mic here at Salon Restaurant. He came from Milwaukee. Some people know it as Milwaukee because they're dealing with a similar issue. But this brother is really from the west side of Chicago, but he went there to do some work. And he's been doing great work, and he's come back here because he's not just a poet or an artist. He's one that works in the community. Give a hand to my brother Quabanon.
How y'all doing today, family? Peace. Oh my God, I thought I was at Salam on the south side of Chicago, so let me ask one more time. How y'all doing today, family? Peace. Clap your hands if you're glad you woke up this morning. Because we all can attest that a baby didn't wake up this morning, right?
That's right.
You understand what I'm talking about, right? If I ask in this room everybody to raise their hand if they lost somebody to violence, this room would get real full. Yes, sir. So let me ask you one more time. If you know it's a God up in heaven and somebody to put breath in your lungs and you miss your people to die, clap your hands and let me know you miss yours. I represent the organ. My name is Quabanon Antone Nixon, born and raised on the west side. I was talking to my good brother Tito. As they say, a lot of us brothers don't get off the west side. And I should not have got off the west side if you add up my life. That my father was a big-time hustler on the west side, and my mother was a young party girl. And if I stand here in front of you now, I'm 43 years old, and I've buried at least 38 to 37 of my friends. I shouldn't be standing here. But if I'm standing here, that means I got a testimony. They say you cannot have a testimony if you ain't never had a test. How many of y'all had a test in your life? Clap your hands. What do I represent? I really represent you. They say a nation can rise. They say a nation can rise no higher than this woman. But on the other side of it is, here's the real deal. If they dug up the books years and years from now and they opened it up and they saw the art that we produce, we would be ashamed of ourselves. They would show that we've treated our women the worst that they can be treated. That we've actually decreased to the worst form of human being if you really look at what we have right now. I have a poem I called Do It Now, and it says that if young black males and young black females are not taught their culture and their history, you might as well get a 38 and put it to their head right now. You might as well get a casket for them right now. You might as well put their face on a white t-shirt right now. But if you don't want to put their face on the right t-shirt right now, clap your hands and let me know y'all want some light. The organization I represent is called the I Will Not Die Young campaign. And that's exactly what we call it to young black men. We in the city of Milwaukee. We've been to 13 schools in a matter of 5 days. We've been with them for 4 weeks. So help me out right now. Repeat after me, everybody in this room, especially young people. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Stand up if you really want some change in your life right now. Repeat after me. Say, I. Everybody, I will not die young. I will not die young. My only message to you is this, little brothers and sisters, art is the most important thing you can have in your life. From the day we were in gangs, from the day we did what we did, it was really the art that attracted us. The black and gold colors, the blue and black, the drawings on the wall. Art is your most valuable thing. It's cheap, it don't cost nothing, but the impact is major. So what do I say is this to you? I leave you with this story. They said there was a man in the hole, and I'd say this for us in Chicago who trying to bring things together, all of us. They say there was a man in the hole. As he was down in the hole by himself, a man walked past him, a minister walked past him. He said, "Sir, can you help me get out the hole?" He said, "Hold up, I'll be right back." He threw him a Bible and he threw him a rope, and he said, "Use that book and read that book and use that rope and climb out." He stayed down there. Another man came past who was shabbily dressed. He was shabbily dressed. He said, "Sir, I'm stuck down here." He said, "Can you help me?" The man said, "Hold on, I'll be right back." He went and got a Bible, a glass of water, and he took the rope and he climbed down in. He said, "Why did you climb down in this hole?" He said, "Because it takes somebody that's been in the hole to show you how to get out of a hole." All of us in the hole, and this is how we're going to get out of a hole. Thank y'all very much.
Started. We've been working in the community before 2006. We go back as far as 1991. But the work that we've been doing since 2006, we've encountered the people that you've heard speak and those hundreds of those that are not presently here, that are all in the community of Chicago. Some are in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, some are in New York, some are in Atlanta, some in LA. But we've been blessed to be able to do work. But now we have to take the work to a different level. Yes, unity requires us not to say, "Well, yeah, hip-hop detox, you ought to have touched 500,000 young people since 2006. However, we got to touch more collectively so we can wrap around our children, our community, because many of us have been told that the present is a gift. They're here in the present.
Right.
They're here in the present. I had a wise man say one time, he asked a question, "Do you see your children as assets or do you see them as liabilities?" If we see them as an asset, then we have to begin looking differently at how we behave, because we can't keep up this whole unwritten rule of do as I say, but not as I do. That doesn't work.
That's right.
We have to change all of this, and change only comes and is only sustained when we understand the value, the skeletal system, the nervous system. You know, we have all these various systems and roles to play, but sometimes we figure my system is the best system, therefore don't talk to me about nothing. Well, today, we're making that change. It's not that we haven't been on that journey, but we're asking all those who may see and hear this, starting with the media. Every time something positive is going on, please don't turn your back. Don't come with a "if it bleeds, it leads" type of agenda with us. Help us to put positive messages that empower our people. Help us.
Yes, sir.
And even if you may feel, well, it may not be the best for you in terms of your bottom line, all the independent media, all those who are on the internet, all the bloggers, we need to work together, because we can change mindsets, we can change thoughts. And one of our brothers who knows a lot about that, because we're talking about business, we're talking about the activity of not only making a profit, but to provide goods and services that's going to help build people and not lead us to kill one another. Give a hand to my brother, Leonard Farrakhan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes,
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Welcome to the Salam Restaurant. I like the name, Brother Enoch, that you gave us, so we'll have to repeat it.
The Peace Palace of the people.
You know, I visited Sweden a number of times, and places where people come to discuss their differences, and where when you get to that particular location, everybody is disarmed, nobody comes to do harm to anybody. That's what the Salam Restaurant represents. All of you are welcome here. It doesn't matter what family you're from, what religion you're from. This is a place of peace where we can come in our community and reason with each other. And that's very important. So I want to thank Minister Farrakhan for inspiring us to make such an investment in a place like this, located in a location like this.
Yes, sir.
And understand that we could have located this restaurant in many other communities in Chicago, especially if you were going to invest this kind of capital. The minister, not listening to anybody, including myself, decided he wanted it here. He says, no, put it in the poorest part of our community, right here. And now, as I am here now and helping us with the management of this place, I can understand clearer and better why that was so important. So I want to thank our brother for organizing this meeting. If any of you would like to go and see the entire facility, it's a wonderful banquet facility on the second floor. You're welcome to go see it. We'll have someone take you through. But on a personal note, as I'm involved in the political activities of this city and other activities, I just want to remind us of, as they cry out in countries overseas when they start talking about violations of human rights. What happened to this baby is a violation of human rights.
That's right. That's right.
And it's not something, you can clap on that because, you know, I'm going to tell you something. At some point, we have to have a limit. All of us as family members.
That's right.
There's a limit to which you cannot go.
There you go.
And we have to promote that. We together have to say there's some things that you're not going to do.
That's right.
You're just not going to do it. And so to me, anything that impedes the future, like my sister brought up the little baby, and I'm glad you did that, because to me, anything that impedes his development is a violation of his human rights. And who's going to protect his human rights if it's not us, the adults in our community, that's going to step forward and say, we're going to guarantee that our children have a future.
Right.
That's right.
And we're not going to allow anybody to impede that for no reason. And I don't know what it's going to take, but I do know this. On my watch, where I am, it's not going to happen.
That's right.
And if hundreds and hundreds of people say the same thing, we got the whole city covered.
That's right.
We certainly know we got the west side and the south side covered. If we say on my watch in my community, within the range of where I am, it's not going to happen.
That's right.
That's right.
You're not going to mess with these babies. They are going to be allowed to go to school. They're going to be allowed to develop. Why? Because we, the adults, say so. Don't be afraid. I'm not afraid of our own children.
Right.
That's right.
And if I had to die for any reason, I'd just as soon die standing on that than to die in some traffic accident someplace, going out in some punk way like that.
Right.
Let me go out dealing with standing on something that says our children must have a future. I'm not going to let you do that.
That's right.
So I'm just telling you, hey, this is it. To me, it's a watershed event. I'm waiting for us to stand up and say, this is not going to happen. It's a violation of the human rights of our children. We're not going to let you go that far. You ain't taking us to that depth. Please understand that. Welcome to the Salam. I thank Father Mike for giving his time and all of you who came. But understand this, you know, when we come and support each other, when there's something being promoted,
There you go.
that's how you make things happen. You don't get too big to come and share the microphone with another young brother coming up behind you.
That's right.
And that's how I see our brother. You know, and thank you for promoting this and coming here to the Salam. You're all welcome. D.A. Smart, I just looked back and I saw you back there. I see all these miles and miles and miles of rhymes you got out here. We need those positive rhymes right now. I frankly miss groups like Public Enemy.
Right.
And we should really be going back, if that's my old school, that's my old school. I want to reintroduce them, play their stuff.
Yes.
There you go.
So please join us here. I guess we'll probably be doing something in the future. But understand one thing. If we can invite kings and rulers here and presidents of African countries,
That's right.
we can also invite the least of these right here in our community.
Go
Right
ahead.
We're for you first, and all that other stuff comes second, because there'll be many great people. Father Mike had a great basketball player here the other night. Welcome at the Salam. But we also had the brother come by who said he was homeless and he didn't have any place to go, and he didn't have any food. And we gave him food and gave him a ride someplace where he could go and be with his relatives. He was welcome here too, and so was the brother from the Bulls.
Right.
That's what this place represents.
That's
Thank you
right.
all very much. Assalamu alaikum.
The Peace Palace of the people. The Peace Palace of the people. We don't do gang banging here. We have organizations such as Broken Wings. Please give them a hand. Broken Wings here. We got got our brother and sister from the organization Become. Please give them a hand. Become. We got our sister over there from Ascend over there. Give her a hand. I see you over there. We got our family back there. We love you very much. Emotional Vibe Edutainment, EVE. Please give them a hand. And correct me if I'm wrong, because we always saying them the red crescents, is it?
The red, Al-Hafiz.
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 Whenever
red
we
turbans,
the red
those are turbans. It's really good. You see how old brother like yourself asked for some education?
Hey,
We did, didn't
all
we?
of us gotta
And
learn.
it's all love.
All
It's
love. Because
Yes, it
when you
is.
truly love, I was taught love and life are the same word.
That's it.
Right.
And when you truly love, you don't mind getting help.
Yes.
From this day forward, everybody that's in here, this is not just for those cameras. Do not allow another day to go where you just let somebody else do the work. I know we got a lot of workers in here, but you all may know people that just sit on the sideline. Don't let it be where it's just a few of us doing all the work.
Right.
This woman works sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I know because I'm texting her about stuff. You know? But we working because we love our people.
Right.
We working because we want change to be real. It ain't a slogan. It's real. The last thing I want to say, and if there are any questions, what we would like to do, media, we have a wall back there, a mural, I guess you would say.
Right.
They have a lot of our heroes, sheroes, and our people that do work historically on the walls. We take some of the young people and we bring them there because a lot of people, they're not being educated in the school system about some of these great ones. If we want to do interviews, please allow it to be in an area like that. Is that okay? Because we want to make sure that the message is imprinted, that we're standing on the shoulders of many,
Absolutely.
of many that have done great work.
Absolutely.
Many.
Absolutely.
And because we are standing on their shoulders, it's wrong if we don't teach the present, the gift that we have. We have to teach them because we cannot assume they're going to be taught.
Right.
And this is a place not only where you can eat to live, but you can also learn for life here. And you can grow and build and evolve. So media, those who are here for the open mic, our open mic is going to kick off. Where's Little Prophet at? Give a hand to our 8-year-old Little Prophet here. When we officially end, you're going to hear, this is going to be the first voice you hear as far as the open mic is concerned. We will be here every month. Every month we're going to call upon not only the media, but those who say they want to unify. We don't do gang banging, meaning religious gang banging, social service gang banging, neighborhood gang banging. We are not doing the gang banging. So we're saying G-ville, I agree with the brother who said we should turn G-ville into Peaceville. Killer Ward into Peace Ward. Foster Park into Peace Park. We need to find ways to bring peace into reality. And when we say peace, we're saying positive energy always creates elevation. Everybody say it with me. Positive, energy, always, creates, elevation. I didn't see no motion. Elevation. It takes motion. And after motion, we put it into order. And everybody, this is motion that's becoming more and more unified because the time dictates it. Death may bring us together, but only life and us loving life can sustain us. And we're going to have to love life enough to care about our own health, our own interests, our own rights, our own needs, and build the virtues up that are necessary to make us make the right decision at the right time so we can do the right thing for the right reason, and the proper motivation will help sustain everything that we say our community needs. We leave you by saying peace. We say salam or assalamu alaikum. We say shalom, shalom or shalom aleihim. But more importantly, we'll see you again next month, April 26th. We'll be here. Press, we're going to call you back because we're going to keep this going, and we want to make it where the community knows from this day forward they can come here, not just once a month, but every day, come to St. Sabina, come and help out with Ceasefire, come to not only Black Youth Project, but WVON. Y'all hear my brother on VON? He was tearing it up. You know what I mean? And my sister, Authentic, one of the baddest poets here in the city of Chicago. You know, and a brother who inspired me as a rap artist. And I said, I gotta help people in any way I can. Give it up for the legendary D.A. Smart. Legendary D.A. Smart. So, if there are any questions from the media, please, we would like to have Father Pfleger. I know he has to go to another event and activity. Give it up for my man, Farley Jackmaster Funk. Legendary house music, disco music, progressive music. Give him a better hand than that, y'all. This is one of those brothers who said he was going to come and he started doing hip-hop detoxes with us, with the parents. Because a lot of our parents love house music, love disco. Herb Kent, Sam Chapman. We get it in like that because our goal is to reach and build, reach and grow, reach and develop. That's our goal. And thank you. I see my wife back there, Miss Keisha. Please give her a hand.